Hello and welcome to Kinetic Builds. We're back with another episode of Satisfactory, and today we're going to have a little bit more realistic expectations. My hope is to get the factory set up to start building the components for the space elevator. We'll see how it goes. We've got some of the subcomponents cranking out automatically here, right? We've got the reinforced iron plates going last time. Off camera, I've done a bunch of cleanup and stuff, but I also set up a second assembler over here for rotors, and we're just using the rest of the materials that we had already being made here. We've got maybe 5 excess iron rods being created per minute, so a little bit of inefficiency here, but it works out really well with our screw recipes because each of these requires 100. So I'm piping in 100 from this side between these two machines into this one, and then I grabbed this 50 and I'm merging a 50 from the other side of the screw line here, and that is, oops, wrong aisle. That's coming from here. And then we've got these two feeding into our reinforced iron plates. A little bit of inefficiency here because this only needs 60, but we're feeding 100 in. However, this is where I've gone to grab some excess when I need it to handcraft some recipes and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited with how this is all starting to shape up. As you can see, the iron is just flowing in. I've got a pretty good backlog here. I have not been running the truck back and forth. I think it's actually sitting over at the other base. I don't believe I've left it running, so we'll have to run over there when we want to start it back up. However, we've got a lot of Caterium now from the manual mining process that we're using, which is going to let us unlock a handful of useful items here, specifically this AI limiter. We're going to get the research going for. And this is going to let me get into this smart splitter, which is what we really want for some more advanced factories.
Research completed. AI limiter recipe unlocked. New Caterium research available.
And as long as I'm here, I'm going to get the stun rebar. We don't really need it, but I've got the materials. We've got to go for completion, right?
Stun rebar ammo unlocked. This applies a moderate electric charge to the target, capable of stunning small creatures and moderately delaying larger ones. This is quite atomically exciting. That was a physics joke.
Haha. All right, I'm going to grab 10 of these AI limiters real quick just to knock out that smart, what's it called? The smart filter here. Caterium. This is the smart splitter. Yes, this is going to be super useful for when we want to bring materials back and have them dump into separate lines. We can dump them all into a combined thing now.
Smart splitter unlocked. The smart splitter offers advanced settings that can improve conveyor belt logistics.
Wow, that's some advanced stuff. We don't have everything necessary to do the programmable splitter yet. But smart splitters will be enough. I don't really need the power switch just now, so I'm not going to handcraft 50 of those things. And we don't have plastics yet, so I can't get the high-speed connector. So I think we're going to be done with that. Now, what I want to do today is start to get the rest of this factory, at least the basics, going. We've got the basics of what we need here with iron already set up, and we're starting to get some of these, I'll call them tier 2 components crafted that we will need for further down the line. So stockpiling those is going to be useful. But the next thing that I want to do is get both the copper and the steel production moving here. Now, I'm going to focus on the steel next, partially because I'm worried we're going to run out of power. And I've picked up all the materials necessary, if you look on my to-do list over here, to make 5 Mark II miners. We've got 8 more coal generators, the water extractors to go with them, and then 3 more foundries. And that totals up because we've got the 4 coal nodes over at the other base, as well as the steel production. So there's 5 nodes over there. And if I level them up to Mark IIs, I believe that all of those that are bringing in 60 cubic meters of coal per minute are going to go up to 120. And that means we're going to be able to double up our power production, which isn't quite at the limit, but I'd rather double it up before our factory is getting shut down by us trying to add expansions. And then obviously, as long as we're there, we should double up our steel production and get that set up so that we're bringing the steel ingots back to base here where we can use them for something else. I could continue to craft the components out there, especially now that we've got smart splitters and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that still. I haven't decided. There's some benefit to not having everything being done right in the same facility, but that means that anytime I want to tweak the capacities of those lines, maybe mix up what I'm making, I have to drive all the way out here. Eventually, once we get trains and stuff, maybe it won't be quite as big of a deal. But for right now, it's been a little bit of a pain, but we'll think about it. I like the idea of having different factories that handle dedicated jobs located in different areas. So I haven't made a firm decision on this yet, but I haven't brought the materials out for handling that as well. So we're going to leave the tractor here and just take a look. So we're all backed up here. I should have an awesome sink going at a minimum so that once we do get backed up on materials, we can do something about it. I do know, however, that I want to rebalance this so that we have more beams getting created. Right now we have just an absolute ton of these steel rods getting created, and that's just too much. It's too much. But before we get into reworking this factory, we're going to head on over here and find a spot to drop down 8 more of these coal power plants. And that also means we're going to have to split up what we're doing a little bit here, rather than merging these 2 belts together into a single line here. We don't have enough room to continue that line on. We ran into a cliff over there. I think what we're going to do is separate these, and I'll build another line of 8 power plants, somewhere over on that part of the land mass. So what we're going to do first is upgrade this to a Mark II miner. I don't know if it's going to let me upgrade in place. It would if I'd picked up the steel pipe, which I didn't bring any of the steel components with me because we have the steel factory right here and I can just grab them. All right, so let's try this again. Mark II, upgrade in place. And that did go from 60 to 120 now. It's going to have to spin back up, but what I need to do is upgrade that belt to a Mark II. And I think this is already all Mark II. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this then, because we don't need it. Perfect. Now I could get rid of this merger. In fact, I'm going to. Nope. Let's do this a different way. Like this. And that should work out just as well. We're going to have some gaps in our coal production here, I'm worried. I've been meaning to run down here to the end. Oh, I can jump on top of this stuff now with the boots that we got, the Blade Runners. That was always a big concern. Yeah, so I'm out of coal in this last one just because of the way the distribution works. I'm going to go ahead and hand place some coal in these last 2 machines just to get us through until all of the disruption I caused in the belts gets ironed back out. Would have expected to see some coal coming down here by now. Maybe I need to Mark II some more of these belts. This is already a Mark II belt, isn't it? I mean, I could always Mark III the belt, but I think we'll be all right. It'll it'll catch up here eventually. I think this one's already getting full, which means this one's almost full. We can just top them off and fix our problems. It's just going to be a bad day if our power factory here starts shutting down. This is the problem with distributing our resources like this. There's no automatic balancing that happens, and so the ones on the end get starved until the ones further up get finished. Now, I am in need of an area that I can set up 8 more of these, and as you can see, that took quite a ways. We'll probably place them closer together this time. I don't know why I built this side by leaving the spaces in between them like I did. I think it was just because I was having a hard time walking around. However, for this side, we are going to do them a little bit closer, so hopefully I don't need as much room. I was thinking about putting them here, but with that hill there, I'm not sure I'm going to have the room. Let me just, zoop this out here to the edge. You know, if I run them this way, I'm going to have a hard time bringing the water in. Okay, I can always just run the water down and then pipe it in, I suppose. Let me see how much room I'm going to need, because it's been a little bit since I set that up. I can do this on 3, no, I need 4 platforms in order to do this. All right, here we go. We're going to run that all the way down. Oh, no. Well, whoops, we'll go for it. I'll see if I can squeeze it in, and hopefully we won't have too many problems. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I know there's definitely people out there who would shoot for making everything look super pretty on all of their factories. For me, this is just power generation, and I don't really care if it looks great, because I'm not going to come back out here much after I get everything set up. I can wrap that back around the other side, or I could rotate this now while nothing's hooked up to it. Let's see if I can just rotate it. Production. Miner Mark II. Yeah, rotating it's going to be the best option. Power, generators. Gonna bring this up to this edge. Can I go one more? Yeah, I can. That'll give me the most room over there. Oops. And then I find it easier to build from this side, because then I can see that I'm lined up. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. There's no way this is gonna fit. Oh, why is that up in the air? Probably because we left stuff here. I suppose we should get rid of this. I'm gonna do it this way so I get those bushes. Perfect. Alright, so I got, what, 3 of these already? I'm gonna get 5 of them before we run out of space. Is that close enough? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, maybe I'll get a 6th one. Alright, we made it to 6, 7, 8. If I just move this water over, we'll be fine. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put production water extractor. I'm going to put one right over here. And I'm going to face it this way. I'm going to hook it up. And then we're going to try to run this line rather quickly over to here. 6. This is quick, trust me. Okay. And this is creating water. We'll fill that pipe up and we won't have any problems. And that will hopefully give me enough room to get a few more of these guys done. Wow, we are encroaching though. We might have to move that again. I should have paid more attention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven. Oh, we got enough room. Look at that. 8. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, just like the other side, I think it's easier to run the pipes on the ground. So what we're going to do is put just the connectors in back here. It's not snapping because of the ground above the thing. It doesn't matter that much, but it's kind of obnoxious. Alright, so I've got that, and then what I want to do is put in each of these while I've got room to move around. And then we're going to put in the splitters as well. That's all gonna run from this side. All right, and then all we gotta do is run some Mark II belts. And I'm going to go ahead and get these belts set up and running right out of the gate so that we can not have any problems with the ore getting there as the factory comes online. Where's the power connectors are on the front of these guys, so I'm going to run a power line to here. And I guess that's the other reason why I might have left a little bit more room previously, is there's nowhere to put the power pole without it clipping. That's okay, I can do a little bit more ghetto. We'll just put it out in the open. We'll put a Mark II down. And I'm gonna run power to each of these. Okay, what did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8. So now the coal's running in here and filling up, even though I don't have any water yet. That's fine. And what I want to do is I'm going to get the water hooked up out here real quick, and then I'll run all my pipes. So I'm going to need 3 of these water extractors. It says 2 in my to-do list now because I've had some, I had to build that extra one. That's okay. Resource not deep enough? That's a little bit problematic. I'm gonna put a power pole right here. Whoa, no, not in the water. I'm gonna slap one down there just to get around this corner. Okay, let's take a look at how we're gonna run these pipes now. I'm gonna run this into here. I don't know what the different build modes are. I'm gonna use auto. I forgot to hook these up to power. And then I need to run this one a little bit further down here. So this is gonna run... Oh no. That right mouse button gets me every time. I'm just running these both up here. Whoops. So I can grab them easier. Alright, let's start hooking up water lines. This one's gonna go here. I think I'll hook all of the side lines up first. Alright, all the long lines get hooked up then. And then what we did with the other one, which seems to be working great, is feed this in just past. And then I'm going to bring this all the way down to the end and have this one feed into the last three. And what we should see is that this water fills up relatively quickly, and then this water is starting to flow. And I expect fairly soon we'll see the water in these start to go up. We're a little light on coal in the ends here again. I guess actually filling up the end one doesn't help me any. I'm going to take that out. I could shut down this section of the power until we get up and going, I suppose, but we'll just let it sort itself out. Alright, so with that out of the way, we now have doubled our power production. In fact, if we just look at the chart here real quick, you can see we're up to 1,200 megawatts, which is great. Our maximum consumption is technically 613, though we're only using 317 right now. I'm not sure, probably because our entire steel factory is backed up. We don't have an awesome sink or anything in there getting benefits of tickets from the fact that we've filled up our capacities, because I haven't let those trucks run, because I didn't have anywhere for them to run to. So we're going to be figuring this facility out next, and what we're going to do just to get started is come in here and we're going to upgrade our miners to Mark 3s, or Mark 2s, excuse me. And that means I'm going to have to go up to the top of the hill there and get that upgraded, as well as the belts. I don't think we've gone up there. I'm going to grab these while I run by. I don't know, do those berries respawn over time? I've got to pay attention. This definitely has. I know I picked that on the way up, so that's one of the reasons why I'm not destroying some of those flowers and, you know, for the pale berries and the barrel nuts, is that you can only get them in a handful of spots, and I want to make sure that we don't destroy all the spots that are convenient for us to get to. Now, this portable miner, this is unfortunate. I can't update in place because I don't have enough portable miners, but I can deconstruct it and get the portable miner back and then place it down. I just wish it would have let me do the upgrade in place. That's okay. And then here we've got, what, 240 per minute now. So we're going to use a Mark III belt to bring this down. And that means I'm going to need to upgrade these other belts. I should have brought some of the bars up with me. I guess I have a parachute now, so at least getting it down is easy. I think I've already gotten the achievement for jumping on the back of this guy. Let me try. Boing. Yep. Boing. Good deal. All right, with those in hand, let me go back and do the upgrades, and we'll be right back to start figuring out what we're going to do with the facility down below here. All right, so I'm doing some quick math here. It looks like we're going to need 6 of these, one of which is going to be undersupplied because we've only got 240 iron coming in. Although it is interesting, this 270 is what a tier 3 belt could hold if we tripled that up. But we don't have that much raw material. We only have 240 coming down, so we'll have to dial one of these down, although I don't have the stuff set up yet to adjust that, so we'll just have one that's running inefficiently from a power perspective. And I'm going to go ahead and just run these foundries out the other way here. I'm going to push H, and I think it's just this power pole that's in the way. Can I move the power pole out of the way? How did I do it on the other side? It's just off to the side. All right. What is this power pole hooked up to? That's the truck stop. It's hooked up to these 2 other poles. All right, so this is going to shut down half the factory, I think. Let me move this up to here. That's going to be in the way when I set these up. Let's move this to here. I'm just going to move it one up. Clipping is fine, right? Let's see how that does. And then we'll get the foundry back out. Overlapping. Is there 2 spaces between these other ones? Oh, there is. Look at that. I didn't need to move anything. What I do need is more foundations. Oh no, this is my ramp. Okay. I don't know how many of these I need, so I'm just going a little excessive. That's all right. We've got 1 foundry down. Let's get 2 more. These are pretty wide machines. And then it looks like I'm running the coal on the ground into the left side. So we will put down some splitters. These are going to be Mark 1 belts into, whoops, to the foundries, and then this I'm going to run as a Mark 3 belt, just for the fun of it. And then we're running the iron in on the right sides. And we're gonna do splitters here. And then similarly, I think those Mark 2s, no, this is a Mark 3 belt. I'm gonna run Mark 3s down the line just for making sure we get stuff into the machines right away. And that should be all set up now. I've got ore running everywhere. All right, looks good. Let me see about hooking these machines up now. One, 2, and 3. Why is this factory not running? Oh, I haven't selected anything for it to do. All right, now we're up and running. I mean, I know the rest of the factory's full, but I expected these new machines to fire up right away. And then I have this all running down to the end here, right? Yep. So I'm going to upgrade my belts to Mark 3s for moving the materials. And then we're just gonna do mergers along the way. Let's start down here so I can make sure I get it lined up. These hooked up. And these all hooked up. There we go. Now we're all set up for production and also expansion. I can now decide what I want to do with all of this. So I've got 60 per minute doing there, and then 30 per minute on each of these. I think I want to double up, triple up on my steel beam production, which means that I would just put down 2 more constructors and do nothing but steel beams. However, in order to do that, we are going to have to put this truck stop in a slightly different position. I did not think that through. Yeah, we've got a ton of stuff now. Well, as long as we made that mistake, I'm going to get rid of the outputs here. We're just full up everywhere. And I'm going to get rid of my ramps. We're going to move the truck stop up here a little bit so that we don't have to come all the way down this janky hill and turn around weirdly here. So let's see how I would do that. Foundations, 4x. I have no qualms about paving the entire world, though. I wonder how bad that would be to come down and go back up and around. Let me see how big this truck stop is. Oh, that's not too bad at all, actually. If I put the truck stop, like, right here. I would have plenty of room to do the circuit. I'm going to fill this in so that the truck doesn't fall over in this hole at some point. And then let me just empty my inventory real quick. So then adding all this up, we decided that we only need 2 more constructors. A creature is in the... Seriously, dude, get out of my base. Most of the wildlife and stuff I think is pretty cool. These guys are just annoying because they get in the middle of your base and then you can't build anything. I don't know. I can't even encourage him to move. He's definitely angry. I think he's like stuck or something. Oh, no, I actually was able to kill him. Well, that's kind of sad. I didn't really want to. And I don't think that got him out of my base. Oh my goodness. Is he going to be here forever now? I don't think he's dead. He's just taking a nap. All right, we're gonna try something. We're gonna save the game real quick and reload and see if it goes away. And just like that, no more creature in the way. Thank goodness. All right, so what were we doing? That's right, constructor here, constructor there. This constructor is gonna be for more steel beams, more steel beams. How are we organizing this right now? They're all just doing their own thing. So let me take these out. Oh, no, I want this to be steel pipes now. And that's steel pipes, and then we'll have all the steel beams at the end of the thing together. So now I'm making 40 per minute there, 15, 30, 45 per minute there. It'll be a little bit more balanced, and we can always come back out here and change this up in the future if we need to, but I'm kind of liking the idea currently of producing the different subcomponents separately like we're doing here and then trucking them back somewhere. It's less factory space that I'm going to need back in the other base. So let's just get a couple of mergers set up here to handle all of these different components. And just like that, we should be good to go. I need to hook these all up to some power now. Those are going over there. Can I hook them up to this power? Alright, but these shouldn't be... Oh, what did I do? Okay, this should be steel beams. This should be steel beams. 1, 2, 3. And then these will be the rods. I moved it around, or the pipes, I should say. We moved it around at the last minute, and that's alright. It won't make a huge difference. Some vehicle still has this path over here that I need to figure out where it is and get rid of it. I'm gonna load this up though. Oh, the truck stop is not powered. Upgrade to this power pole to give me some power to the truck stop. Oh, there we go. And now that's all filling up. We're loading the truck. And we're golden. Let's see if this stuff is all gonna sort itself out now. It is. And then these two new factory dealy bobs need to get hooked up. So we will add splitters. Oh no, I'm missing iron plates, really? Alright, well we'll do the unthinkable and use one random Mark II belt in the side there. Shouldn't actually matter too much, but it's the principle of it. And here we go. Steel pipes, steel pipes. Everything's looking good now. We're making 15 a minute. Yep, we're good. Everything's caught up. So then what we need to do is set up a course with this tractor. I'm just going to check. I've got a whole bunch of stuff here. So we're going to open the record menu. We're going to start recording. I guess having the path there is going to be slightly helpful because it's going to let me see more or less how to go, but it's not that hard because there's already a road. This thing kind of pulls to the left, it seems. Maybe it's just because I'm on the side of a hill. This random animal's going to be sort of a problem. I guess when you're not in the area, there aren't any collisions for the vehicles, is my understanding. But it's a little obnoxious sometimes. Gotta be careful when I get to the top of these hills that I don't go airborne. Should just walk along the path and pick up all the alien carcasses there. There we go. I should cut down this tree at some point. It's right on the edge of the path. And I want to say the steel was the very first factory we've got here. I really hope so. All right, F to unload. And then we want to curve back out here to the far side. And off we go back to the steel factory. Now if I can just avoid having an accident, flipping this thing over, we'll be golden. And here we go. I'm trying to avoid the cliff. And then I need to make the loop, so I'm going to come down at a bit of an angle, and then we're going to turn right into there. And let's save our path, and this is steel loop. I load a path. Yeah, so iron loop, steel loop. I want to get rid of this old path. There, finally, no more things being displayed. So I'm going to use 19 fuel per trip. We're going to burn through that fuel awfully quick. We need to get a better fuel system lined up here at some point. But we're going to load up what we've got here. And probably send him back at least one more time. I'm feeling pretty accomplished. We got our power situation doubled up on, which gives us enough power to start building back up at the base. And we've got our steel, I would say better balanced. We're making more of the components we're using, especially because these are for all the tier 3 belts. So we're going to just need a ton of them. It's looking good. And we've got another truck station up and operational. I couldn't ask for more. So let me send, I was going to say let me send this guy on its way, but let me just drive this guy back. I wish that they would follow the automatic path while you're riding on them like this, but it is what it is. We'll turn autopilot on once we get back over there, and maybe I'll even turn it on a little bit ahead of time. I think I can do it mid-loop. And then I'll stop off and get the truck that's driving the iron loop back up to the base so that we can send him off whenever we need. For steel, I mean, I'm moving around built components where I feel like this is more efficient, at least for right now. To build it this way, but we might just bring the ingots to the factory and base at some point in the future if we find that it's too much hassle to try and keep track of everything this way. Let me turn on autopilot and see if he'll figure it out. Yes, no, maybe. Doesn't seem to know what to do. Maybe it's because there's two paths that are right on top of each other. There we go. Just gave him a little bit of a push. I don't trust him though. Let's make sure he's gonna actually go up the ramp. All right, that looks good. And then coming back here to this base, you can see I've done a lot of cleanup. There's no more buildings there. We need to get rid of this whole setup. Now, this is one thing that we're not yet making over at the new base. I've got quite a few of these modular frames, though, cooked up. But I do need to set something up to do this back at the other base, which is one of the reasons why I haven't torn this all down just yet. Maybe we'll go ahead and go set that up next. And then we also just have our concrete and copper stuff going here. So I'm just going to pick these up while I'm here. But we really need to relocate all of this over to the main base as well. I could run the copper in here as possibly a separate truck station and then have two different setups where one truck comes in and gets the iron and then a separate truck comes in and gets the copper. In fact, I really like that idea, so I'm going to try this out, see if I've got the stuff. Nope, I'm going to need rotors. We'll have to go back and get some rotors to do more truck stops. We'll do that in just a second. I'm just kind of taking a peek around. I don't have Mark IIs on any of these yet, so we can really boost up our iron ore production. We're not even hardly using any of it at the moment, though, so we don't necessarily need to do that in the moment. And look at all of these iron ingots that we've accumulated, so I should definitely get this truck going. Let me load it up. Let me show the path. Yep, we've got the path all loaded, and I will just send him on his way as soon as the truck station's done loading him in the bottom right there. Enable autopilot. And off it goes. With my shortage of iron plates, I suppose I could come over here and just grab a few. We've mass-produced them. And this is something that I probably need to start setting up everywhere is... I need AI limiters. I want to set these up so that if things are full, that it'll output into an awesome sync. We could start building up tickets. And so we're going to run... I don't need to run all the way back to base. I think I can just do that at any old crafting bench. We'll toss a crafting bench down here. And I'm going to build one of these AI limiters. Maybe I'll build two of them since I'm in there. And then with that, the smart splitter should have options where, like, this output is any overflow kind of a thing. So I can put the overflow into a whatchamajigger. So let's do this. I'm going to put a smart splitter in. Well, let me... I want to move the truck stop back. So I'm going to take both of those down. We're going to grab this truck before he keeps going. Disable autopilot. Delete his path. Show path. Alright. So he is cleared out. And then I'm going to take... Oh my goodness, I don't have... I should take the iron out of this thing first, because I won't have enough inventory room otherwise. I'm still not going to have enough inventory room for this nonsense. Oh, let's see, maybe? Nope. Alright, well, let me move the truck stop back. Oh, I can't. I needed... rotors. Alright, we're gonna do that. I will just accept my fate. We'll have to pick up the drop stuff in a minute if I don't forget. And truck stop, we're going to have one truck stop here. I'm going to move it over so that the inputs line up. And that should be enough room for me to drop a splitter in. We'll put it right there. Oops. And then I'm going to use a smart splitter. I'll put one there and one right on top of it. And what this is going to let me do is run that in there. And then we're going to edit this. So the center is anything. The left is overflow. And then we're going to do the same thing up here. The left is overflow. Oh, this is the other belt. I guess I had my truck station lined up the other way before. That's okay. What I want to do is put one of these somewhere over here. Put it there. Will this connect? Perfect. All right, cleaning up the last of that chest of stuff that we had out in the world so we don't lose all of our hard work. And then this just needs to get powered now. So I'm powered over there. And what should happen is as this gets full, the overflow is going to run over here, and we're going to put an awesome sink in place. And we haven't run one of these yet in this series. And my goal is going to be to center this up here. And all of the items from both this truck stop and the copper truck stop, which I've yet to put down, are going to get merged into it. So I'm going to do that. And then how am I going to set up the merger from these two things? Let's do something like this. Run our Mark III belt in there. Run a Mark III belt in there. And I'm gonna have to get creative with this, aren't I? I know what I'll do. I'll put a conveyor lift in, facing that way. Perfect. All right, so that's gonna merge all my overflow into this, which is then gonna merge my overflow into that. And then this thing does require power, so let's just hook that up there. Perfect. I think we're all good. I don't want to sit here and wait for this to fill up, but I am curious to see that this is all working. Man, I'm going to need so many more smelters on this eventually, because I've got these two that can be upgraded. Those three that can be upgraded, and I haven't even built one over there yet. Oh, it's going to be glorious. But we're not focused on that. We don't have a need for more iron right now, so we're going to come back and optimize this factory with just rows and rows of smelters once we can shut this down, once I get modular frames up and running at the other base. So in order to test this, though, what I want to do is I'm going to come over here and actually, do I switch this to unload? And then we'll just unload the tractor into this just to see that it's working. All right, we've unloaded everything we have. We just got to wait for a minute while it stacks up here, and we'll go check that awesome sink. All right, this should be full any minute now. Let's come out here and watch. It's backing up. And then, yep, stuff starts running over here and running out there. And then the awesome sink is running. I love it. All sinks final, no refunds or exchanges. All right, so this is going to handle when the station is closed. Really, I should set one of these up at each of these so that if we're ever full up, we're not just sitting idle. We're actually getting a benefit from this, because I would love to get some tickets and unlock some of the stuff in the awesome store. However, we're going to unload from the cargo truck. Oh no, not unload from the truck. I need to flip this back to loading. We're going to load the truck up, and this is Iron Depot. Start naming our stations so that when we look at them on the map, I believe, if I mouse over, well, that's tractor, that's me. Well, take my word for it. If you look over here at truck stations, I can see Iron Depot and click on it to figure out where it's at, which is pretty handy. But now I need to open the record menu and start recording. And we're going to take this guy over and make the iron path, because I've moved that factory. All right, I'm going to try and hug this way a little bit, because I've noticed it has a problem on the ramp sometimes. Whoa, got some air. Then we pull right in there. We're going to unload and then back around to the base. All right, so the trick here is I know I'm going to have another truck station, so I want to stay to my left as much as possible until I get over here. Actually, there's no way that I'll get by with the copper. All right, well, we've got a path now. We're going to save this path as Iron Loop. This one already exists. Oh, that's right, it does exist. V2, save. B, load path, all right. Can I rename it? I can't rename paths? All right, let me delete the old path. And then let me resave this path with a new name. Save. I'm going to enable autopilot, and then that's the path that's loaded. Okay, we're good to go. Let me load up the cargo. I'll back up here a little bit, and then I'll send him on his way. We want to make sure the main base keeps running with everything. All right, and oops. There he goes. What's he doing? Okay, do you need a little help here, bud? Let's try this. Alright, he seems better. So there we go. We're now hauling iron. Everything looks good. We're sinking over here in case we have excess. We're not quite to a principal coupon just yet. And what I want to do is actually stop that tractor up at the iron base, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be sitting full on iron ingots here shortly. So we will try to grab him as he comes back, and then I need to do the same with the steel. I don't want him just running in loops with half full inventory. So we'll need to grab him and shut him down next time he's up here at the base. So I'm going to do that, a little bit of truck maintenance here, so to speak, and we'll be right back. All right, so I've got all of the trucks stopped up here for the time being, and we're bringing in all of this miscellaneous material, and as you can see, it's starting to fill up the storage because, well, we're not using any of this just yet. However, it's all mixed up in this storage, and what I'd really like to do is, instead of having one combined storage for that, I'd rather process it as soon as we bring it in, and we're going to smart split this out into 2 different storage containers. So I'm going to stack some smart splitters, and what we're going to do is have the smart splitters split to the left and the right. So here we're going to do none. And on the left, I'm going to send the steel beams. And on the right, I'm going to send the steel pipes. And that should allow us to sort this. I'm going to copy these settings as well so that I can just come up here and hit paste. Perfect. And that means I'm going to have to move this container to the side, or really place 2 new containers and then get rid of that one in the middle. So let's do that. This side like so. I'm just thinking what the maximum angle I can handle doing a 90 is. Like that. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this container. And I'm going to place this one down in such a way that it lines up like so. My other containers were a little bit farther back. Run it 2 back like that. Does that line up? That does. That's the same spot that the other one is. So let me put that down. Let me get rid of this. Let's see if this will work. Oh, I can't run. I can't double it then, though. Alright, we're going to put this industrial storage container in just a slightly different spot than the other ones, I guess. I wonder if I were to move it over slightly, if I'd have better success as well. Let's try that. I'll take it. It looks a little wonky, but I'll take it. And then, what did I say left was steel beams? So this is where all of my steel beams are going to end up. And then, of course, these are all the other one. What did I do with this? I centered it on the platform, but that doesn't necessarily make sense because we're not centered there. So this next one is going to go over on the other side. I'm just trying to get this to be the same distance apart. Of course, I need steel beams to build one. All right, let's see. 2. I think I'm about the same distance apart there. All right, let's clean up this inventory here. Get rid of these rods. We don't need those in there. And we'll pick all these up and put them right here. We'll keep a stack on us for random building purposes. And then with these smart splitters set up now, I can finally hook them up with these Mark III belts. And of course, we've got lots and lots of pipes. Oh, we've got a mismatch on our belt speeds. Let's make sure these are all Mark IIIs to unload quickly. We'll see how this goes. I think it works from the end of the stack up. So we've got a lot of pipes that are going to get unloaded, and then it'll eventually get to the beams. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter that it unloads them stack-wise like that, but it sure would be nice if each of these outputs was like working from a different end of the spectrum, like the top one worked from here and the bottom one worked from the bottom, just so that you would potentially get different resources. But it seems like both of these are pulling from the same stack to unload faster. We'll fill up our beams long before we even get to the plates is what I'm worried. Or, I'm sorry, the pipes are gonna overflow us. Yeah, we're gonna have to find something to do with these. I suppose this is where we could once again have a smart splitter for overflow to run into an awesome sink. I don't really have a great spot to set that up right now, though, so we're going to just rely on the fact that I can hold a few more stacks here, and we're going to be starting to use those materials sooner than later. I suppose what I could do is configure these to have overflow go out the center. And I don't really need both the top and the bottom to overflow. It'll just slow down our exit, but if I have overflow, I'm not too worried about it. We'll just have one come out, and I will set up an awesome sink right over here. And that way I can have anything that needs to get synced run down this line from all of the different factories over time. I like it. I'm just trying to make sure this lines up with the rest of my factory. I like that. That one's full, that one's full. Let's upgrade this. And then let's put a merger out here. That centered right down this line. Although it is going to block some of these containers if I do it this way, but for right now, that's probably okay. I can always unload from the second level. There we go. All right, so now if we bring back too many things, overflow will come out of the container and boom, we'll be good to go. And this is doing all of our steel beams. We're 2 stacks away from having this be full. Well, let's go ahead and hop in here then and turn on autopilot. We're gonna hide path nodes though, so we don't have paths showing up everywhere. And let that guy go. This guy, hide path nodes. He's not driving anywhere. It's this guy that's still showing them. Hide. All right, we're better. I'm letting the steel guy go back and get another load, mostly because I want to see that our awesome sink and overflow stuff is going to work out correctly. But I have no reason to believe that it won't. And hey, we've got our first printable coupons. That was my other question, is whether or not these were linked to each other. It looks like they are. So that's great. I'm not going to print those out yet because I think what I needed or wanted at the Awesome Sink cost 5 tickets. I don't even have an Awesome Sink store set up anywhere. Maybe I'll set that up right next to the sink. That way, whenever I get the tickets, I can immediately use the tickets. I usually put all of my buildings over on the other side there, but I think this is the play right now. Perfect. And yeah, there's this kind of stuff I'm gonna want, like the conveyor, lift floor holes as I start building vertically. Ooh, hypertube floor holes, that's kind of neat. Lights are good. Customization, Some of the funky foundations might be good. Conveyor walls, this is the one that I really want. So that I can start enclosing some parts of my factories and just having them all look a little bit nicer. So we'll wait until we've got 5 tickets and start unlocking some of that stuff. It won't take that long with how we've got things set up now. And I just want to check in on our rotor situation. We did run out of rotors while we were out in the field, so I'll pick a few more up to have in my inventory. But look at these. This is, 600 of these while we were out moving around doing other things, all stacked up here. So we're in a great spot now with this production. And over here, I think similarly, we've got 420 of the reinforced iron plates being built up. What we need to do next is look for the modular frames. Where'd my mouse go? There it is. And the modular frames require some more iron rods, which honestly, thinking about iron rods, if iron plates require 30 per minute and iron rods require 15 per minute, what we should do, just thinking out loud here, is get rid of some of these plates and start making rods, and then I can combine these and some rods into making our modular frames here. So let me just toss this down real quick. Modular frames require 12 rods per minute, and I'm making 5 per minute of the plates, so I could keep almost 2 assemblers going, especially with the buffer we've got in the backlog there. And at 12, that would be 24 iron rods. So I would need 2 of these. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put down 1 more constructor. And I'm going to convert this constructor to making iron rods, which will use a little bit less iron ingots. But if I do the same with this, I'm still using the same amount now of the iron ingots to instead make 30 iron rods. All right, so then I'm gonna power this. And with these 2 sets making iron rods now, I can feed 2 assemblers. So let me make a little bit more room with my foundations. One of these days we'll start building the factory upwards. Oh, I was not in Zoop mode. And I'm going to rotate this assembler. Let me figure out where the merger's going to end up first. Or do I need to merge? I guess I could just run 1 line into each. I was going to merge and then split to keep things clean. Let's do that. Let's merge and then split. We've got plenty of resources to handle the cost of the components. And this will let me, if I decide to, potentially convert more of these into iron rods on this side and run them out here. And then here, I'm going to run, if I've got this there, can I put my assemblers in this back part? I think I can. We just need to get rid of this tree, and let's put down 2 assemblers. Oops, I keep doing that. I'm gonna lock that in place now, and then do I have enough room to do this? I do. Let's go 1 more right there. Okay. I just need a couple splitters. 1 there, and one here. This is going to run the reinforced iron plates in. And then I need to run in and split the iron rods. I'm going to continue to use this conveyor lift trick because I think this works out cleanly. I love that they've made it so that I can put splitters right on them now. This is just so much easier than it used to be back in the day. And then this runs up to there. This runs... I'm gonna just rotate this. It's not... Oh no. You know what? We'll just put the splitter on. That way if I decide to build more of these, I can. Splitter. And then we need to power everything. I'm going to run a power pole right over here for the time being. Doesn't need to be anywhere fancy, I suppose. All right, and then we're making modular frames. Times 2. And what we'll do is we'll just toss down a storage container right in the center of this. I really need to identify a good control scheme for putting the mergers and splitters on my hotbar that I feel comfortable with and memorize it to save myself time from having to always go into the build menu to select what I want to build next. We're building now. We're building now, so I will have modular frames coming out of here shortly. I really could use another one of these going at some point because now I'm at a deficit of one reinforced plate to support the modular frames. So I will run out, quote unquote, eventually. But I have tapped out on all of the screws that we're making at the moment. So I don't really have the production over there to take care of it. I have tons of iron capacity. In fact, thinking about it, I've got lots of plates and or rods that we're not even using. Just looking here, these are even more plates that I'm not using. So realistically, what I should do is convert some of this to iron rods. You know, even build more things to handle rods and then set up more assemblers and stuff. I think what I want to do, though, is move all of that up onto the second floor and just pipe the appropriate iron components up to these assemblers. Like, have all the assemblers up on the second floor and leave just the constructors down here on this first floor. And then I'll pipe them up and have all of the materials just shoot down a line and keep the assemblers moving. I think that's what I want to do. We'll unlock the conveyor hole thing so I can pipe them straight up through the floor. That would be really cool. So yeah, I think that's going to be the next adventure. What I wanted to do, though, today, and we haven't done it yet, but I said I would, so we're going to try and hold myself to it, is pick up some rotors. I want to toss down an assembler for each of the main building components that we need here, and see about setting up the productions for all three of our spaceship components, or our space elevator components. So I know we've got the stuff building for this. We just discussed that I have an iron plate deficit, though. So we're going to lock that one into place. And then versatile frameworks require modular frames, which I've just started making, and steel beams. So I have all the materials and things going to start crafting those. And then last but not least, I need these automated wiring units, which require stators. So what does that require? We're going to keep doing this in the most janky way possible by tossing down assemblers. Stators require steel pipes and wire. Oh, perfect. We can get that running no problem as well. We just got to get copper over to the base. Perfect. Well, we've got everything we need almost. We got to get copper run over here, but that's not a big deal. But we've been running for quite a while here. This is going to be another one of those hour-long episodes. I'm going to have to figure out how I want to structure this a little bit better. I'm tempted to start live streaming this and then just posting the chunks of live stream. Maybe I'll cut them down to 30 or 45-minute chunks and then just keep posting them in the episodic pattern on YouTube as well. So let me know if you'd enjoy catching a live stream of this. My ability to live stream would be during the day in Eastern Standard Time in the United States. I could probably stream from anywhere between the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if there's a specific time in there that you're around and wouldn't mind watching a stream, let me know in the comments below. And I believe we're going to wrap this up today. And we'll check in next time to finally, I know this is the second or third episode in a row I said I was going to get the production running for our space elevator. But I think all of this time we're investing now is going to pay off later. So I'm excited. We're making progress. It's just a little slower than I would have expected. However, I've been having a blast. Hopefully you're enjoying watching the episode too. If you are, drop a like. Helps the channel out a lot. That's all for today. Kedrick out. All right, I can't take the noise of this Mercer sphere up here any longer. We're gonna try and get up here and knock it out real quick. Jumping is so much easier with these boots on.
The effigy has no song, only echoes, but it is part of a river. Why does the effigy avoid the windows?
Attention. Your brain's operations are outside typical parameters. Time spent daydreaming will be deducted from your sustenance budget.
Okay. I love the freaky, weird stuff with these Mercer spheres and whatnot. I gotta look up the key to cancel the elevator. We've still got to find that SAM material before we can do any more man research. Ah, well, we had to do it. Have a good day, folks.